Dog, what? AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Y'all know what this is.
Knicks rehab.
Knicks rehab, y'all.
This guy made a lot of bad moves in his career. At one point, AllBall was saying, why isn't he rivaling LeBron? I said, because he's not. We will never mention him with Michael Jordan. We mention LeBron with Mike. There's a reason for that. A lot of bad decisions made, and along his journey, he called the New York Knicks irrelevant. That's right, Kevin Durant.
Corny, not cool. Busters.
Mark-ass
busters.
And then fast forward 7 years later. Boo-hoo-hoo. Guess who's knocking on our door? You know, you guessed it. Kevin Durant wants to be a New York Knick. And guess what we told him? Please, what we told Kevin Durant?
Get the fuck on. Get on.
KD
Get the fuck on, OG.
But we get to AllBall in a second because, you know, he wanted KD over
wanted
there.
the New York Knicks. He wanted to go there. The Knicks have no interest in bringing him in. Which probably makes the Knicks Nation, I don't know, probably quite interested in why not. I think these three choices are by default. He definitely doesn't want to go to Minnesota, but I think there is some fear from him and Rich Kleiman that they're hoping that there's going to be respect at Kevin's age to give him what he wants rather than try to trade him like he's 31 years old, which he's not anymore. I think they're trying to get a major haul, but they're hoping that they work with him and get it done. KD wanted the New York Knicks.
Yeah, I just want to play that part again. KD wanted the New York Knicks. You know who else wanted the New York Knicks? KD on the New York Knicks, Flea. You guessed it. The man in the middle. AllBall. Your man's Kevin Durant. KD. Easy money sniper. He wanted back in New York, AllBall. But La Cosa Rosa said, no, thank you. We remember. What's your reaction, AllBall, to Kevin Durant begging us, begging the garden doors to let us in, to let him in there?
So I'm gonna be honest. I love what the Knicks did, if it's true. No. Like I said, I would love KD here if it didn't cost us anything. The young man that reported that, I'm being real, he's terrible. I don't know how he still got a gig, but to each his own. Lord have mercy. But
Mark Spears is a legend. Mark Spears is a legend. Jesus Christ, OG. Yes,
you just said I don't like anybody. Let me not like nobody. Let me have, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Listen,
two things can be true.
Yes.
Right. Let me not like his ass. Right.
I'm sorry, OG. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah, listen, I cut y'all off all day. It's not a problem. Trust me. You cut me off any time, brother.
Nigga said Mark Spears is terrible. Yo, go.
Yeah, I know he irks
He is
me,
horrible.
Okay.
But
Flea, would you watch 10 minutes of a podcast with him on it?
It depends on what I'm going.
Nah,
it depends on what I'm
10
going to
seconds.
look for.
Yo, but he's lying. He's lying.
Right, I don't want to know.
If he was up here with us, we would bring him the flavor, sabor, to his show.
Listen,
what is that?
You said 10 minutes, 10 seconds, but I digress. He's a legend for sure, Flea. He ain't my type of legend. Sorry. I respect to him, though, right?
Great, right. I used to like his pieces that he used to write. That's all.
Okay.
Go ahead. His pieces was great that he used to write. That's all.
You started this. You should have let me not like him. Like,
I should have shut the hell up.
But like I said, if what he's saying is true, I totally agree. I don't know what Phoenix is thinking about. Like I said, what do y'all want? He's 37. You know, for me, I would love KD if it's for the low. And how many times have we been up here and I've said numerous times, why is everybody trying to fleece us? We watch teams get good players for the low. Why we can't get him for a bench player in some picks? Because that's what anybody else is going to get him for. Ain't nobody giving up the house. Let's cut the jokes. But I love what the Knicks did because it reversed back to the Jay-Z and Dame thing. Bro, remember what you said about us? Yeah, we ain't forget. Look who's cool now and look who isn't.
Hold on.
Now your ass is in.
Oh, boy. Leon Rose is Rock Nation?
Listen. Look who's cool now, and look who's uncool in Phoenix.
Glasses that good.
Listen. I love it. I love that we show some backbone. And we stood up for ourselves. Like I said, I think the days of the Knicks getting fleeced is over. Of course, you know, everybody feels some way about the Mikal Bridges with the 5 picks, but you know, at the time, you know, linking him with his guys, him coming from the Nets, playing great basketball, but the normal where you think you really gonna rob us blind, them days is over. And I really think, you know, the Knicks is moving into the right direction. I know my brother Flea wants us to have a plan, but I think we just showed that we have a plan, that we ain't going for the okie doke. Because we could have easily went for the okie doke. Easily. Like y'all said, Tory B in the comments, 37 years old. Flea said all the time, injury prone. Yeah, great talent, but why y'all asking for so much? And like I said, I really think the Knicks organization, when KD or whoever's representatives may have called and said, hey, we want to holler, they probably sent him a video of when he said, yeah, y'all ain't cool, and disrespected us. And now the way Kevin Durant is biting him into you know what. I don't care what nobody says. He wants to go somewhere where it's going to be fun to play. You contend for a championship, and it's going to be lit. And Flea, what I said, we are sexy. Because you know what a sexy female or male can do? They can turn people down. You know what we just did? We just turned down a legend, a future Hall of Famer, a 2-time champion. So for me, I love that we said, no, we ain't going for the okie doke. Because if this was 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, they'd have probably fleeced us. And I think we started to show backbone with the Donovan Mitchell situation. Yeah, I wanted him, but Danny Ainge wanted too much, and we didn't go for that. So kudos to the front office, to Dolan, to the whole Knicks organization for letting Phoenix and Kevin Durant know, kiss our ass. You want to take personal true with some picks? Y'all want to take campaign back? Yeah, we'll take KD for that. But if you think you're going to get Cat, or you talk about I want Bridges and OG, you don't get the fuck, excuse my language, get out of here. So as much as I wanted KD, because I think, you know, Magic Johnson said some things that he'll help us pick up the pace, the way he moves the ball efficient, the way he shoot the ball. But like I said, if you can't have him with that whole core, then nah, get out of here. So for me, if we could have got him for, like I said, 2 bench players and some picks, will we keep our starting 5 and our guys like Deuce and Mitch and that stuff? But listen, I agree. I like that we said, no, KD, we don't care who you are. And before I let Flea cook, big shout out to beautiful, the lovely Darlene Bryant is in the building. Before I let Flea cook, it's nowhere in the world, you know, they didn't forget what KD said about us. That was disrespectful. Because he didn't have to go that hard, balls, at all. So I think now that KD said that, I'm being honest. I don't think a lot of teams want Kevin Durant. And I think he's overstaying his welcome, and he's overpriced at this point. Guys need to lower their standards. But for me, you know, the bad part is with him, he may think he's on LeBron James level. Remember, even at this point, LeBron James is still putting up MVP numbers, MVP seasons. They still get to the playoffs. With KD, he ain't doing none of that. So I just think he's shooting himself in the foot. But big shout out to the Knicks for standing up. We ain't going for it. Nope.
Flea. Big KD, the legend. He wanted in. Nigga said, nah. What's your response to the legendary career of Kevin Durant not coming to Broadway?
I got in trouble with my man when I said when they said, yo, you don't want Donovan Mitchell? I said, I'm cool. At first, I said, I'm cool. With Kevin Durant at 37 years old, I got the same month. I'm cool. Listen, man, Kevin Durant is a pop culture hooper now. Like, he is a hooper that is strictly just worried about just being out there and just playing basketball. There's no sense of urgency from that dude from what I see. I don't know him personally. But from what I see, there's no sense of urgency. He does not create the winning culture. You don't feel like when he walks through the door that you are in championship contention. You just don't feel like that anymore. What I saw over the last few years in Phoenix let me know everything that I need to know about him. He's still a great talent, still a hell of a player, still great individually. But in a 5-on-5 team setting, I don't see how he helps us win. Right? We all talking about winning championships. I think that's where we at right now. We want to win a championship. We want to get a coach in here to lead us to the championship, and we want players in here that's going to help us win a championship. At 37 years old, I don't think he can help us do that. And there's a lot of people out there talking about the nerve of y'all to turn y'all nose up to Kevin Durant. Well, let's be honest. That's what we do. That's what we've done in the past. We get aging superstars. We bring them in and thinking that we can still hold on to whatever they have left in the tank. And they come in and then we don't get the results that we're looking for. And then we got egg on our face and people laughing at us. And so now we decide to go the different route where it's been watching what KD looked like over the last 5 years, over the last 6 years. He's not the same guy anymore. He's getting older. His body frame is not one that's going to be able to withstand the ass whooping for too much longer. He's not built like LeBron James, the way he could play at that high level at 40. KD's smaller, slender. He's not a strong guy. Twig, that type of shit. So shit could happen where shit could go left, and I gotta call it quits. He's not built. The frame it's not about him. He's just not built that same way. So I just think we got to be logical about this. And for once, the Knicks are being logical. Okay, wait a minute. First of all, the dude turned us down when he was still in his prime. Okay, we need to be honest about that. There's some emotion tied to that. There's some personal petty shit behind that. Fine, we over that. But now if we're looking at what he's going to help us do going forward, yo, man, I don't think that that's somebody that you can hit your wagon to going forward. Because guess what? We'll be figuring out what it looks like after Kevin Durant very quickly. So it's not like he's going to come in and we're going, next 5 years, we good. No, we bring Kevin Durant in, it's a 2-year window, 3-year tops. Then we don't have no draft picks. Then we struggling to find players and pieces to bring. And now what do we look like? So again, I agree with the Knicks. I like the fact that we stood on our on our dean and said, I'm cool. You can stay over there.
AllBall always says this. You can bring a championship to New York, and it's a whole nother level. For some reason, nobody understands that. Ask Eli Manning about winning a championship in New York. Eli Manning's maybe the clumsiest 2-time winner of anything in the history of anything. And he's just, people try to like put him in the same conversation. I'm like, all right, put him in the conversation with these other greats. Yeah, we don't belong in there. But we'll do that for you. We'll do that for you. We don't care. Joe Namath again. He's with them big ass ears. We are still celebrating him 60 years later. And we saw Jalen Brunson sacrifice to lead the team. Where's the sacrifice from Kevin Durant? It's always the super team thing. It's always, why would anybody want to trade any one of their core? Like the Spurs said, we're not putting Stephon Castle in that mix. And I totally agree. How Stephon Castle, you know what I think of him, Flea. You know how you described him to me before you need to watch that kid. Word. As soon as I see a couple minutes of footage, oh, he's legit. He translate this in the summer league. Let me see. Then he gets to the NBA. No, KD, you're 37. You don't play defense. And why do you want $50-60 million? Bad enough we got to deal with Cat. $50-60 million. That's still risky. OGs. You know I love OG. Big time risk.
Making a hefty dollar.
If you came here and you showed some sacrifice like the rest of the team and you go, for the bigger picture, we're going to do this. Bring a chip to New York City. Like, Flea, you're asking what the plan is for the Knicks. Well, KD, what's been your plan? That's the thing with his career, because LeBron is getting away with this, and we'll get to him in a second. He's getting away with the team hopping thing, and he has a legion of fans that rock with him and everything. But he got away with it because he said, oh, I'm going to plan to go back to Cleveland, get that chip, and now you got to put me on this other level with Mike. Like, and then he's an android. But Kevin Durant felt like he was just doing what he wanted to do, like what he felt like doing. And you're just gonna come to the Knicks because you feel like coming here when we have a championship situation, and we're on the verge of just being, I keep saying it, the most powerful team in sports. Remember, Kevin Durant helped build Golden State into the most powerful team in the NBA. That was crazy. What happened with over there in Oakland? Steph Curry was a part of that. Of course, Steph Curry led the way, but they're not getting that without Kevin Durant. This is all-time great. They're in the history books. So if you want to be in the history books again, bro, you're gonna have to sacrifice. I don't care what team is with, unless you're planning out the last phase of your life. You go, you know what? It's time for me to retire, and I'm just gonna chill, go to Florida, whatever it is. If you go to Houston, it might be dope. I don't know. You go to the Spurs, it might be dope, but I don't expect the ring. It's gonna be a constant theme with these topics today, though. Yo, just play ball, man. What happened to just playing basketball? Everything is always about some new wrinkle. Yo, I'm on a new team. Like, why do you have to leave Phoenix? I don't understand any of these things. And it sucks because when the Larry Bird comparisons come around, you know, Kevin Durant walking through your doors, that was a big deal for me. Like when he turned us down, I didn't care because it meant you were coming with Kyrie, and it was like, bro, I don't know if that can really lead us. That's kind of a tumultuous. I don't know about that leadership. And then now it's like the same thing. You got Brunson there, but I don't know about you. And that sucks because you, at the end of the day, no matter how you slice it, he's a basketball legend, bro. Easy Money Sniper's a basketball legend. So, we try to show love, but at the same time, we got to be real about KD. He pulled up, got 60 at the Rucker, and you went to Dykeman, and you are the man. But it's the decisions you make off the court that we get confused with, and why we don't want anything to do with that, because we got to be careful about the next steps. How are you going to help us choose the next coach? There's a lot of question marks. Well, there's one or two big question marks here, and we can't add another one with you. You're a big shadow in the room, especially when you come with $50-60 million. Now, if you come in here and say, yo, if you trade for me, Knicks, I'll re-sign for 20 million a year, 30 million a year. I'll give you a discount. I want to win. I want to be part of a legacy. Now we talking. But if you're still thinking that like they said, 31 years old, damn, you got other plans, bro. You just do.
I mean, I hear what both of y'all saying, and like I said, the circumstances, I agree with what the Knicks did, and I agree with what both of y'all are saying. But I have to ask myself, who would I rather have, Mikal Bridges or Kevin Durant? I'm sorry, I'm taking Kevin Durant. So for me, I'm not with the super team thing, but like I said, if we could get him for the cheap for a year or two, I don't see no problem with it. I just see a problem with Phoenix asking for the mother load. That's the part I don't understand. But I'm gonna say it again. If you ask me who would I rather have at this point, Mikal or KD, taking KD even at 37. I'm sorry. And that's the only problem I would have, is trying to give up too much. Like you said, him still trying to get all that money. But kudos to the Knicks. Like I said, I 100% agree with what they did. If you asking me as a fan, like I said, if it's for Mikal, straight up, which is probably impossible, but just fantasy and just having fun with it, I don't know who would y'all rather have, but I'd rather have KD over Mikal Bridges for a year or two. Now we talk about longevity, 4-5 year contract, and building the future and trying to do this thing season in and season out, then I get it. But if we saying, okay, within these next 2 years, we have to win a championship and we can swap, I'm sorry, I'm doing that. But I know that's not going to happen. I'm just saying, trying to be funny but have fun. But at the same time, if we can keep the core with OG, Brunson, Cat, Hart, Deuce, Mitch, I'm being honest. If you keep that core with Kevin Durant, and like y'all said, a very important thing that I can't ignore, and y'all both be saying it, the right head coach that can coach that, I don't see. I'm being honest, my brothers. I don't see how that's bad. I'm sorry, I just don't. Now, like I said, if it's OG and Bridges and somebody else, or if it's Cat no. But if it's take Bridges bum ass out of here with whatever pieces that's going to add up to that, I guess with whatever draft picks, I'm being honest. I'm thinking about that. To me, that's something to think about. Anything besides that, Knicks, like y'all said, get your ass out of here. No.
I don't know. I just don't hear anything that I need to hear from a guy that is supposed to be helping me win. I don't hear it in Brooklyn. I didn't hear it in Phoenix. The only thing I hear from the dude is defending his legacy to people that he don't know. Only thing I hear from the dude is the back and forth banter, again, with people that he don't know. I don't remember the last time I heard Kevin Durant give an assessment on what the fuck happened the last 3 seasons in Phoenix. Keep it real, y'all. People in the comments. When is the last time we've actually heard Kevin Durant talk basketball about what he needs to do, what the team needs to do? They brought in a championship level coach in there. They brought Budenholzer in there to say, hey, yo, get this right. Because that's the team that he actually lost to when he was coaching Milwaukee. He was coaching Milwaukee and lost to Phoenix. Phoenix brought his ass in there and said, hey, help take us somewhere. And you can't make the playoffs with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker and Bradley Beal. So, nah. I've seen this dude in too many compromising situations where the situation you could have elevated the situation had you been, I don't know, a different type of player. I don't get the fascination with this dude anymore. For me, it's the name at this point. Great player, absolute great player. But the fascination with this Kevin Durant dude is I'm over it, to be honest with you. Over it. Again, this is not knocking who he is as an individual player. Individually, he's one of the best and still is one of the best. But if you're just talking about bringing him in and him being something that's going to help us get to where we need, 2 games away from the finals this year, Kevin Durant's going to help us win the championship, I don't believe that. I don't. And I'm not willing to hijack our roster for that nigga.
What the heck is crazy?
I'm not.
No, don't be having me because he be dead serious. He's serious. And I remember I had to watch him back, and I don't know I'm gonna cry over this shit. The fascination, I don't get it. But it's
can I ask y'all a question? Like,
read the super chat.
I want to ask y'all a question, and this is especially for Tory B. Tory B, just let you know I love you. I don't duck no smoke. So stop.
Yes, you did. You did last time.
I don't even remember.
Oh, he saw that. I didn't know if you saw it for Tory.
Yeah, I couldn't even
I hid it on purpose.
Stop bamboozling these our people in the chat. I ducks no smoke. Love you, Tory B.
Big shout out to Brooklyn.
Let me ask y'all this, because I don't even remember the question, but you can ask it again, and I'll kindly answer it. Flea, I'm asking you, and I'm asking Tory B. Because you just said something that's 100% incorrect. If we have Kevin Durant on the court with us, remember, we're staying healthy, right? With Brunson, Cat, let's just say OG, Mitch, Deuce. You telling me against Indiana we're not winning that series? Like, seriously. Put your basketball hat on. Hold on. I'm going to get to it. I'm talking.
I said maybe.
Okay, cool.
Maybe.
Cool.
Maybe.
Okay, cool. I see that, man. Get out. I see that. I'm asking y'all a simple question.
OG.
It's that simple, though.
OG.
No, it's not.
With the dude next to other players that I think you would say are the equivalent of a Brunson, of a Cat, of a this, with guys next to him, and him even being younger. We're talking about an older Kevin Durant now coming. I'm talking about a younger guy with a Kyrie Irving. Swept out the first round of players. A younger Kevin Durant with a D Booker next to him, swept out the play. And these are all.
Hold on, now watch this. No, watch this. You ready? Devin Booker ain't Jalen Brunson.
I agree.
Okay, I've seen Devin Booker as the best player on a championship level team. I've seen it in the finals.
Hold on, Fleet. No, let's stay there because he had Chris Paul 8 was playing at an all-time high. Bridges.
Was he the best player? All I said was he was the best player on a championship level team. That's all I said.
Hold on. I'm gonna say it again because I don't want us to stare off. Booker's not Jalen Brunson. And what's the other nigga that's stealing from the NBA right now? That's over there? No, that's with Phoenix. The other guard.
Bill.
Bradley Beal ain't OG. He ain't Cat. So I'm not giving KD no excuse. I'm never doing that. I'm not doing none of that. I'm saying a rental for a year and we don't give up anything. I agree with y'all. I'm not talking about giving up the house. No. But I'm saying I'd rather KD than Bridges right now. I'm asking y'all.
If that's the question, yes. If you're asking me, do
Please,
I want a Kevin Durant or Mikal Bridges? Yes. Give me Kevin Durant.
Yes. Right. So that's the conversation. What I'm saying I'm not giving up everybody, but if we can figure out a way with Bridges and some guys off the bench and some picks to make up for however that contract shit work, that's what I'm saying. If it got anything to do with Brunson, OG, or Cat, I'm saying no. But I'm asking y'all, Brunson at the 1, OG at the 2, KD at the 3, Cat at the 4, Mitch at the 5. You got Deuce and Hart coming off the bench. I'm just trying to ask y'all, that's not beating Indiana?
Maybe.
It all, again, I've been saying it for 3 years.
Coaching?
Exactly. Tibbs is no longer here.
Who knows?
The Celtics.
Who the fuck knows?
The Celtics, the Pacers, the Cavaliers, the OKC Thunder, Dallas.
Let me have that one, OG.
Hold on, baby. Hold on, right? Hold on, I'm laughing, right? Because all I see is Tory B say, I'm not trading my youth. What youth do we have on the Knicks? Like, hold on. If we're not trading Cat, Brunson, OG, Hart, and Mitchell Robinson, tell me the young, talented, gifted players that should not be traded from the Knicks. Please tell me.
You know, the youth, she's only saying that the youth, they're all pre-30. Somehow.
No. Listen, I'm simple and plain. I'm a little slow. I'm simple question. If we're not talking about trading Cat, Brunson, OG, Josh Hart, or Mitchell Robinson, tell me the great youth that we have that should be untradeable, that's untouchable.
No, we have none.
I'll get off the screen. I want Tory B to, I want Fabian too, because he's making that stupid face. Let me know the great young talent we got, Flea. Let Fabian and Tory B. Let me know the great young talent that we ain't giving up.
You see, AllBall always thinks he's slick, right? He tries to pigeonhole you into this question that I never cared about that question. Entertained about
so you ain't got.
All right,
so mind your business. I apologize.
Of course, we're gonna say. Of course, if we trade Mikal Bridges for Kevin Durant straight up, we do it. Of course, if we say we would like to trade Cat for Giannis straight up, we would do it. Those are all upgrades, especially the next 2 or 3 year window. Of course, if we get Tom Thibodeau the hell up out of here, even with a Jason Kidd or a mid-level coach, whatever the hell, that knows to play 10 guys on a damn court. Of course.
Can I ask y'all a question?
No. You're not right now.
No.
What youth? And then, hold on, Flea. Then he goes off to rattle off. He rattles off the 5 guys who are playable on our team that are all young. And he says, what youth? That was his question after asking what youth.
That was my purpose of trying to explain that Tory B is simply saying the guys that are our core, if Phoenix calls and says, we want a Bridges and an OG, or we want a Bridges and a Cat, we can't do that.
But Flea, hold on. I said that. Hold on. See that? Don't do that to me. I said that. I'm asking y'all, Mikal Bridges, Deuce, Tyler Kolek, are y'all doing that for Kevin Durant? Just yes or no?
Mikal Bridges, Deuce, and Tyler Kolek.
Just yes or no?
No.
Okay, Flea, are you doing that?
Yes.
Listen, we don't got to talk about it more. I'm just saying, stop making me seem like I'm crazy, like I'm always the one that says something nuts. Thank you, Flea.
You're both crazy.
Yes.
You're both crazy. Once again, we want to trade more depth for an aging. Flea just went on for 20 minutes. That's a total Nick move. He
asked me a specific question. He said, would you trade Mikal Bridges, Deuce McBride, and Tyler Kolek? And I said yes. Yes.
But
Can I go find? Hold on, because you getting a little excited. Slow down. Can you go find another Deuce McBride right now? Answer that question. Just a blanket question.
Yes.
What Deuce McBride provides, can we go find that, or do we have to draft that? Can we find that in the league right now?
Yes, we can find it.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. So then what else are we talking about? Kolek don't play, right? He's going to struggle to get on the floor for any team in the NBA. And so now we're talking about, is Bridges better or is Kevin Durant better? Come on. That's why I'm answering the question
but now
why he asked it.
Of course, because now you're going using your imagination and you're going to go search for somebody that can replace Deuce, forgetting that I personally am losing trust in La Cosa Rosa. Yeah, I said it. So now you got who's the player who's in our rotation? Brunson, Bridges, OG, Cat, Mitch, Hart, Deuce. 7 guys. You want to take away 2 of them and add 1. That's 6 guys. Then you want to replace them based on what history? Our history is not good with replacing players. We haven't shown that. We replaced our backup last year with Cam Payne and Landry Shamet. No, I'm not.
You don't think that they
trading.
realized that was a mistake?
I don't know. Once again, I'm losing trust. Like you said, Flea, this summer's going to be a long summer. Can't wait. I want to see what the hell y'all doing. And which goes back 360 to the reason to going back to the. I'm super glad we said hell no to Kevin Durant. No, you don't. You ain't no. There's no obligation for you. That might be the name of a podcast right now. Ain't no obligation for you. You ain't a big dog no more. You ain't make the playoffs. When the hell do you tell anybody what to do? That's not. You ain't no MVP candidate, huh? What you talking about, right? You ain't no #1 All NBA. Them days are gone, Papa. You third option. We back at it. Braun was that 3 years ago. LeBron plays 65 games a year. How many games you gonna play, KD? So now we got a game plan for you playing what, 55, 60 games? And then what? As a #1 option? You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. Not happening, bro. I'm not trading 3 pieces for you. Since when? You act like you said Giannis or something. Y'all know what this was.
Knicks Rehab.
Knicks Rehab, y'all.
AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.